Occupy Parliament! Parliament's open 2:30 to 10 o'clock tomorrow. Everyone's allowed in.
So, picnic back here in 2 hours.
Information, if you choose to say that's fine, we'll deal with that as we see fit. If you don't, that's fine as well. If you want to go, that's fine. We'll just carry on. We're not doing
right,
carry on.
Carry on picnicking, he said! Carry on picnicking! The officer said carry on picnicking. Thank you very much, officer. What's your name? Sorry, Chief Inspector or Inspector? Do you know Inspector Paul Switzer?
Yes, I do know.
Yeah, he's a very good man. We like to liaise, we like to be reasonable. I'm glad you've told us we can carry on picnicking. Thank you very much for being reasonable. I'll shake your hand.
Like I said to you.
Thank you very much.
If you are holding our law,
my name's Phoenix, and I'm involved with a group called the Squatters Action Group.
So what are you doing? What's this protest all about?
This isn't a protest. You're not allowed to protest anymore in Britain unless you've got permission around Parliament. It's very draconian indeed. This is a picnic of free people who've chosen to come to a very ancient spot here, Top Hill Mound, and have free speech, which is our right in this country.
But the police are saying this is an unlawful demonstration in the area of Westminster.
No, we've explained to the police very, very clearly, to the Chief Inspector, and it's on camera, that this is a picnic. This is a time of year called Samhain or Halloween. It's Celtic New Year, and the Celtic peoples of these islands are perfectly free to come and discuss free speech. At the moment, the government is trying to draconianly criminalise homeless people and shelter in empty buildings, and that is completely outrageous. Tomorrow in Parliament, the government is ignoring that 96% of the people in a consultation said they did not want the government to criminalise homeless people who squat and shelter in empty buildings. They've totally ignored that, and they're going to add a clause onto the legal aid bill to criminalise homeless people. And even the police and the judges have said this is a bad idea. Now, where has democracy gone when 96% of the people say they don't want criminalised squatting, and the government continues anyway? Where has the democracy gone in this country?
So the message you're trying to get across is a pro-squatting message tonight?
The message I'm getting across is free speech. So basically, we have a free right to come here, to have a picnic, to discuss how we feel about the current situation in this country. And at the moment, the Conservative Party and their allies are totally disregarding the democracy of 96% of the people who... What's the point in having a consultation if you ignore it and you change the law anyway?
Are you going to try and squat on College Green? Are you going to try and move on to any of the areas around here?
No, not at all. We are tomorrow in Parliament. The British public have a right to go into Parliament between 2:30 and 10 o'clock. In Committee Room 20 there was a meeting with John McDonnell, the MP, to discuss what has gone wrong with our democracy, whereby they have a consultation, they ask 2,200 people reply, and then they completely ignore it and change the law anyway. They were talking about putting homeless people in prison for 28 days, they're now talking about criminalising people in residential properties who occupy empty buildings for 6 months. Now, there's already a law to deal with. There have been 6 months of lies in the media saying if you squat someone's home, there is already a law to stop you squatting a residential home. It's called the Displaced Residential Occupier Law, 1977. They're going to bring in a new law that will criminalise any squatting any empty building, and it's going to cost hundreds of millions of pounds to put people in prison for that, and more people are going to be homeless next year.
So do you really think you've got public opinion on your side in favour of squatting?
I think after 6 months of blatant lies by Crispin Blunt, by Grant Shapps and housing ministers, they should know as ministers, their department should tell them there is a Displaced Residential Occupier Law 1977. You cannot squat someone's home displacing a residential occupier. There is no need for any new law. There is no need for them to deny democracy. What is the point in having a consultation that was rushed through in 8 weeks, minimal consultation? 96% of the people said don't criminalise squatting, and they're going ahead with it. This is not democracy. How can we, as British people, make our point peacefully to our government when they've closed up Parliament Square, which traditionally so that people could petition the government? We have a free speech right to come here and make our point. We're having a picnic. democracy night because you're not allowed to have demonstrations and protests. I'm very clear on that. This is a picnic on Samhain, Halloween night. It's Celtic New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. We, free people of Britain, have to wake up and realise this government is being undemocratic and we're not having it anymore.
What are you going to do when the police ask you to move on?
The police haven't. We've explained to them that
What will you do if they do ask you to move on?
We've told them it's a picnic. People have a right to be here. They haven't told us to move on. They said if it's a demonstration, we have a right to arrest you. We've explained, where is your evidence for a demonstration? They have said they couldn't supply any evidence. We have said, this is a picnic, this is Celtic New Year, this is a lot of people who've gathered because they want to...
So you've made that clear, but what are you going to do if they ask you to move on?
Well, they haven't.
But if they do?
If they do, I will look at the legal situation, whether I think legal observers here and cameras here are watching it. Now, the police do have to obey some laws still, and basically we will look at the legal situation. We have, you know, a lot of media headed down here, hundreds of people. The British public is not happy. Hundreds of people are going into Parliament tomorrow to say to the MPs, you cannot ignore democracy. This is what democracy looks like. Look at St Paul's, this is democracy in action. 1,000 cities across the world are occupied. 13 cities around the world, around the UK have got occupations going on. If they criminalise squatting, we will be occupying a lot more places.
So is this connected then? Is this what's happening here, your picnic, not a protest? Is it connected to what's happening in St Paul's?
Thank you for taking the point, brother. We are all interconnected, all across the planet, 1,000 cities.
But theirs is a protest.
Huh?
Theirs is a protest at St Paul's.
At St Paul's?
Yeah.
That is a gathering of people to discuss a better future, that's what I feel it is. And that's what we all need to get together all over the world and discuss how we're going to put solutions together for a better future. And let's hope there's a lot more of that, brother.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care.
The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching! The whole